Hello and welcome back to the garage. This week's video we're going to be looking at Parilla TT27. It's from 1980. We're going to rebuild it. We need some new components. We're fitting a new conrod. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the engine apart, get everything cleaned, and then we can start looking at putting it back together. Now we've had all of the parts through the wash tank, it's time to take the two crankshaft halves off to the oven so we can fit some new bearings. I'm off to do that now. So we now have the crankcases assembled with new bearings inside and with new crank seal. It's quite interesting to compare this TT27 with the crankcases of a TT37. These engines are 15 years apart from when they were first brought to the market and homologated. The one thing that's very noticeable when we look at the TT27 versus the TT37 is the size of the transfer ports. We notice on the TT27 that this port area is very small in comparison to the port area on the TT37. That clearly shows that one of the big areas of development was the transfer ports. So now we've had a quick look at the differences between these, let's start putting this TT27 back together, starting off by putting the crankshaft inside and then sealing the crankcase halves together. There's one thing you might notice I'm doing differently on this engine compared to most other engines you've seen me put together. I haven't yet put the bolts into the crankcase, but I am fitting the rotary disc. There's a very good reason for that, which is that the bolts that hold the rotary disc cover on are also the bolts that hold the crankcase together. So I'm assembling this bit, then I'll put these bolts in, and that will be the crankcase fully assembled with the rotary disc fitted. So now the disc is in place, we can get the rotary cover. We'll fit a new gasket onto the rotary disc cover. And then we can fit this onto the engine. So now we've got that back together, we're just going to clean up the excess silicone on the mating surfaces so it's not protruding and in the way of the gaskets. It also helps keep the engine nice and neat and tidy. Now we're going to fit the piston. So we'll start off with a small end bearing. Just put a little bit of oil inside the bearing, and then we'll just rotate the bearing to make sure all of the rollers are covered in oil. At the same time, we'll get our piston pin, we'll just pass it through to make sure it's all covered in oil. We can put our small end bearing inside the conrod. We get our piston, we'll get the pin just started in the hole. Make sure that the arrow on the top of the piston faces towards where the exhaust will be. And then we'll put it over the top of the conrod. Line it up, and we can gently push the piston pin all the way through. There, that's all the way home. So now we've just got to put the circlip inside, and then we can put the cylinder on. And then we'll just get a little bit of oil onto the piston skirt, just a little blob, and spread that around. Move back to one side, and then we'll bring our cylinder in, and we're going to put a bit of oil inside the bore of the cylinder. Again, just a blob, and then we'll wipe it around. Going from the back side, again, just put a little blob and spread that around. And we're ready to bring our engine back in, line it up on the studs, and we've got to squeeze the piston ring in around the piston pin. I'm just going to rotate the crankshaft, checking the piston through its full travel, making sure it's nice and smooth. Next up is fitting the head. We're going to fit the previously fitted copper head shim. We're going to recheck the squish, again using some solder wire as we've seen previously. Not going to show you in detail for this, we've already shown this on videos. Check out the link up the top there to watch that video. We're fitting the ignition system back on. As you can see, it's a motor plat system on this engine. It's exactly the same method of setting the ignition timing as we've done in previous videos, so won't go into details on doing that on this engine. What I'll do is I'll put a link up the top there for that video, so go check that out. Fitting the coil is exactly the same as on any other engine. Onto the two studs, make sure the earth straps are in place, and then put your washers and nuts. All we've got left to do on this engine now is to fit the coil wires onto the coil and then pressure test the engine, and then we're done. So that's the Parilla TT27 engine completely rebuilt. As you've seen, the actual assembly of the engine, putting it back together, is very, very similar, almost exactly the same as on the more modern engines. But now you've seen some of the details inside, you can see the development that happened from 1980 through to the end of the air-cooled period. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out some of our previous videos. Thanks for watching.